Attention, bobsled riders! You will soon be embarking on a thrilling podcast down the icy slopes of the Matterhorn. So please remain seated, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the bobsled at all times. Auf Wiedersehen!
Hello, yodelers. We are the Matterhorn Yodelers, and I am your host today, J5th, with
Jackie.
and
Hey y'all, I'm Eddie Murphy! That was my really bad impression of Eddie Murphy.
That was
there.
pretty bad.
I thought about it, or I could have done Owen Wilson. Wow,
Yeah.
guys, wow.
are you ready to be a hero? Sorry, my back hurts from washing all those feet in Calcutta.
Right.
So we're here today to talk. You know, it's Halloween, and we have the new Haunted Mansion movie that just dropped on Disney Plus. It was in the theater. It was not received really well.
Well, they did release it in like August.
It was
June.
Yeah,
It was early.
summertime, and it's like, okay.
Well, I knew why. Because I knew they were pushing for an October Disney Plus release.
Yes.
So they're just thinking like, we're gonna
They're
get this
just
here.
gonna throw it in the theater just to get any type of money, and
Right.
then the big hit is gonna be Disney.
And usually
Plus.
people want to get scared. They're not gonna want to see. Let's go see the kid like Haunted Mansion film.
Right.
Yeah, they're probably trying to get some summer kid crowd.
It's probably smarter. Like that's
Yeah.
probably what it is. So yes, we had the new Haunted Mansion movie come out, and we're like, oh yeah, wasn't there a Haunted Mansion movie that came out like 20 years
No,
ago?
there wasn't. Let's just ignore that one never existing.
There was a vault, a literal vault.
That all Disney fans threw this movie in. Not even the Disney company. The Disney company keeps throwing it out like, see, we made this movie. And the fans are like, no, put that away.
Give us something better.
The movie that shall not be named. Yeah, we did that joke when we worked at the Haunted Mansion. Like, oh, is this the Eddie Murphy? No, we don't
No.
talk about that film. So yes, we're gonna compare the two movies. We're gonna talk about them, and we'll poke at them, and we'll like pick out things that we did like, and we'll give Mickey Bar assessments for them, so you can have something to watch. You know, so you don't watch the wrong Haunted Mansion
Right.
for this Halloween time period.
Oh, it was funny, though, because my kids, it was like in September. And they were going through Disney Plus like, oh, Dad, the Haunted Mansion movie's on Disney Plus. I'm like, that's not the one that's not the new one. It says, yeah, it is. It's new. It's right here. They watched. They liked it, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was like, it's not.
Oh,
that's not
kids,
the-
they like such garbage as we like quote heavyweights and water boy
know,
all the
right?
time, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's start off with Eddie Murphy's Haunted Mansion. It came out in 2003. I don't have any facts on it. I didn't care to find anything funny or clever about it. But for a quick synopsis for those who have forgotten, so there's Jim Evers, who is Eddie Murphy's character. He's a workaholic real estate person, you know, gets a call for the Haunted Mansion to be sold, and he brings his family. The family gets stuck due to weather, you know, flooding them over, so the family's trapped, and then they do the classic Scooby-Doo, like, let's separate and get lost in this haunted house, right?
Right.
And then Jim Evers and the kids find... Yeah, they get stuck and they get separated, and then the kids have to find a key to break the curse, and then they're chased by zombies with this key and in the crypt, right?
Sort of. So
Well-
like they get instruction from Madame Leota that they need this key. The secrets will be revealed
Yes.
with the key. So then they go to the crypt to go get the key. That's where they get chased by zombies.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the key opens up a trunk which reveals
A letter
a letter.
that says the butler did it, killed the girlfriend, killed Elizabeth,
Right.
and
Pretty
and,
much.
And Master Gracie, the curse is that he has to marry Elizabeth in order to move on, his true love.
Yeah, because, you know, he thinks Eddie Murphy's wife is
Elizabeth,
Elizabeth. You know,
Yes.
she looks like her.
right?
Well, and the weird thing is that they even Madame Leota states that it's her, even though it's not.
It's not.
But Madame Leota says,
Well-
yes, it's true. It's her. She's in the halls.
Well,
And so it's kind
What
of
do you mean?
but
Who's
that's
in
the
the
spirit.
hall?
But there was the spirit. There is a
ball.
spirit in the house.
That is her.
Yes. Where are we at now? Yes, they find out, and then the butler kicks them out, kicks Jim out of the house, and he gets all mopey, and he's got Madame Leota in the car.
Yeah.
And he crashes his car into the house.
Yeah.
Funniest line of the whole movie for me was, he tells Madame Leota, "You stay there," and she's just like, "Okay."
Where
Like,
am I supposed
that
to
was
go?
the funniest. Like, that's when I'm going, "Huh, that's funny." Dad humor.
Right.
That's it for me for the funniest part. And then
She goes, no, I think the line was like, "Hold on," and she goes, "To what?"
Yeah.
yes, that's the line. I was like, this made me chuckle.
That was the line.
Sarah, the mom, she's got to marry Gracie, and I love how Master Gracie has this like European Prussian style uniform. You live in New Orleans, like.
Right.
Yeah, the theming of it is a little off.
So yeah, I was like, so she has to marry Gracie to save the kids that are trapped. Jim, what is it? Yeah, Sarah. Yeah, they get married, and the butler's is the officiant,
Yeah.
and they're going through the whole process. They have to drink the cup, and she's poisoned by the butler because the butler doesn't like Gracie to marry anyone. Talk about an
they need to kill her.
So that
Is that what it was?
yeah, she
Yeah.
needed to die
She needed to die
Yeah.
so that they could be together.
so they could be together.
Yes.
Okay.
So the curse would be broken,
Something like that.
and they could go to the light or whatever.
And then, Jim brings up the letter to Gracie, and, Master Gracie's like, "What? My butler? He betrayed me?"
Right.
And then this dragon comes out of the fireplace. This fire dragon that consumes him. That's what I was like. I walked away. My wife walks in, and I look over. I was like, "Where did this dragon come from?"
What sort of lore is that?
I missed
from?
that part of the Haunted Mansion. It's like, yes, and here's the fireplace where the dragon comes out and consumes the butler. Yes. And then Sarah, is dying. And then Elizabeth's soul joins Sarah's body.
Yes.
And
They
then
make out with
and
Master
then,
Gracie,
and
yeah.
then
Yeah.
Sarah, Jim, or Eddie Murphy's character, his wife has to make out with Master Gracie in
Yeah.
order to save her.
They're
And
making out. And
they're
the
making out,
kids are there.
They're like, "This is weird." It's like, it's okay. He's making out with not my wife, the ghost
Yeah.
inside my wife's body. It was just so
Yeah,
weird.
that was weird. That was weird.
And then they all live happily ever after, and you got the
And-
annoying singing bus.
Yeah. They're
Oh, the worst.
They're like, okay, yeah, we're fine.
There's only 4 of them. Where's the 5th one?
Yeah, I know, right? They're like, they're like, all right, we're leaving the mansion now. What are we taking home with us? Madame Leota and the singing bus.
The annoying singing
Yeah.
bus.
The annoying singing bus in that movie for sure.
If you don't like your neighbors, then yeah, I'll put those in my front yard.
Yeah, right.
I'll just scare the birds away. Yeah. And then they're like, "Here, Master Gracie, here's the deed to my house." And it just, oh man, just painful. While I was watching it, I kept thinking, I want to watch The Black Hole to wash the bad taste this movie had in my mouth.
No way.
I literally, I laughed in that movie way more
Than an actual comedy.
than actual comedy. Like,
You're just a little loud.
Yeah, it's just loud for me.
all right.
That's good. Sorry.
So,
No, so
No.
like, it's definitely better than Black Hole movie.
It has better music. I can give it credit for that. It's got better music than Black Hole does.
I thought the overall story is better than Black Hole.
really, the dragon that comes out of the fireplace save.
Yeah, because there's no weird dragon part that's similar of like nonsense in the Black Hole.
I kind of want that robot to come back and kind of like haunt the doctor. He's
Right.
out to get me. Maximilian's out to get me. No, it just, oh man, it was, what I kept looking was, oh good, this movie's only 90 minutes. Thank goodness it ends quickly.
I would rather watch the Eddie Murphy's Haunted Mansion movie than some of the Disney sequels.
Yeah, I agree. It's better than, B-side, Disney Plus,
Yeah.
gone straight to VHS.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's bad.
I was watching and I was going, I think I saw this. I really hope I didn't spend money to see this in the movie theater. That's what I kept asking.
No, I mean, I feel like this movie was definitely made to be like a Disney Channel or a ABC like family. Obviously, it was released in the movie theater, but I feel like it was made for those type of TV channels to rerun.
You know which made for TV movie, which I thought was better than Haunted Mansion?
What?
Angels in the End Zone.
The Tower of Terror.
Oh, that was way better.
That was way
Yeah.
better. That was like
Had a
that
better
was-
story.
It was a good story.
Was it better than HE double hockey sticks?
Yes, I would.
Is that even on Disney Plus?
No, it's not.
Oh man.
because that's an ABC movie,
It's
and so
probably
they
on
didn't put all
Hulu.
those on
You
there.
think it's on Hulu?
Maybe.
I don't even think Hulu's like, no, we're gonna put
I
this
don't
on
know.
here.
We're gonna put that one.
We're gonna put Halloween Town High School on there for you,
Right.
but I didn't realize there's 4 Halloween towns.
Yeah.
Thank goodness we didn't go through all those.
that
We
was
almost did.
that was
It
the
was a
plan.
thought.
That was the plan this month, but we did.
Haunted Mansion saved it.
Yeah, we got Haunted Mansion for the
If
rest
you don't
of the
like this
month.
podcast, comment that you want us to watch Halloween Town and review them. So yeah, this was a painful movie for me to watch. Let's start
I
with
didn't have that pain.
you didn't. Let's
No.
talk about things that you enjoyed about it.
I enjoyed the different cameos of the Haunted Mansion, like take on things.
There was
like
definitely
the
more.
There was more.
There was definitely
the more of the
more.
classics, I would say, that everyone's aware of, like the breathing door, the this may be controversial, but I preferred this Madame Leota.
Oh, I did. This Madame Leota was better. Jennifer
agree.
Tilly did
She
a
was
better job.
Way better.
Yeah, she did
Jennifer
great.
Tilly did this Madame Leota, and she's really
I like
good.
the
I
musical
thought.
instruments.
I thought they were horrible.
No,
I
that's
The
loved
not-
it.
chasing of
Yeah.
Eddie
The-
Murphy,
The chase scene was kind
that
of
was
Oh,
gooberish.
yeah.
I did not like
it
that.
didn't bother me.
Okay, it didn't bother you. You thought that was good. So no, I don't think you're wrong with the Madame Leota
Yeah.
in this. I thought she was more to the actual ride.
Yes.
You know, like there's a hauntingness to her,
Mm-hmm.
and not. And we'll get into it with
The-
Sarah. What's
yeah.
her not? No, what's her name? Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
That's who it is. Yeah. So yes, I agree with you. That was better. I thought there was more cameo stuff in the other one for me. I thought it had a better incorporation of the Haunted Mansion kind of like look. This one they went to an artsy look of the Haunted Mansion.
So,
Yeah.
so the way I looked at the Eddie Murphy cameos
Or Easter eggs of
Easter
It's probably
That's
Easter eggs
it.
of the ride.
right? The Easter eggs of the ride, you can definitely tell they were more blatant in the Eddie Murphy version.
Okay.
With it, they hit you over the head with it. The singing bus, they hit you over the head.
Yes.
With it. Was it a necessary part of the movie? No, not at
It
all.
was horrible.
Right. And so
They
like
started singing in the glitchy heads. I was like, is something wrong with my internet
And
right
that
now?
was probably the time. The CGI wasn't as good.
this is around the same time as
Mummy 2.
as Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
You can
It's
see
that
that they're
same time period.
trying that with Eddie Murphy looking in the mirror,
Yeah.
and he's like dead looking.
Yes.
There was that, yeah. I was like, oh, there's the Black Pearl, and I was like, I thought this movie came after Pirates of the Caribbean, but no, Pirates came after this, didn't it? Or no, it was it 2003?
No, I think
No,
Pirates.
I
came
thought
first.
Pirates
first.
first, and then this probably came out
This,
in like Halloween.
This triggered. They're like,
This-
oh, we should.
No,
do
they came out
Haunted
at the same
Mansion.
time.
They came out like
I was
close to each other. It was like maybe a year apart. So they were in production around the same time.
I think they're in production because I was out of high school when I saw Pirates.
Yeah,
And,
it was probably just around that same time.
okay, but it was. What do you guys think of Eddie Murphy's performance in this? Was it good for you? Because all the weight was on his shoulders. There was really nothing else.
it
The butler's
was-
the next character that carries something.
Yeah, it was an Eddie Murphy movie. Like, it was Eddie Murphy being Eddie Murphy. Like, he wasn't acting.
So
like,
it's kind of like my opinion about Adam Sandler movies, where most of his movies are just it's Adam Sandler being in his
Yes.
own movie.
that was my
So this was
thought.
Eddie Murphy being
I
in his own
wouldn't
movie.
say Eddie Murphy was like a great actor, you know, portraying.
He was over the top. He was
Yes.
He's an overactor like Jim
his
Carrey.
Yes.
Comedy style really overtook everything. Like there were parts of the story where like he was inserting comedy that really didn't need comedy.
I think
And
I knew this movie was bad when they had to insert like stepping and poop in the forest sound effects. Like they're like, and like, and then the kid's like, don't step in it. And the kids go, and I was like, this is bad. You're inserting raspberries or fart sounds
In your trailer?
in your trailer or in the actual like movie, and I was like, this is horrible.
I get it because they're trying to bring some comedy into like a scary mansion, but I think they
and
did.
as part of the mansion, it's like
That's-
scary to funny.
Well, and
Yeah,
that's
but
also
I
the
think-
history of the attraction
Yes.
itself.
Yeah.
Is that conflict with the Imagineers? Should this be a scary attraction? Should this be a silly attraction? And I think we ran into that same issue with this Eddie Murphy version.
I agree. I think Eddie Murphy was over the top. I think if they didn't have Eddie Murphy and a different actor, I think this would be a different story of a movie.
I think so. And I really started to think about Eddie Murphy as an actor. And it's just like, this is the time. Think about what he's come out with. Like Nutty Professor,
Doolittle.
Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah.
Like, this is where
Daddy Daycare.
Daddy
Yeah.
Daycare. And that's kind of like,
It was
and then
the
he does
same
like
tone.
Pluto something, right?
Yeah.
And
I
it
mean,
like,
this was like the climax of his career, and then it dropped.
well, no, he had.
I wouldn't say.
No, he
Well,
had
not climax.
He had Shrek,
Yeah.
and like
Right.
he just did Mushu like a couple years ago prior to it, right? It
like,
was
5 years before.
so we're like 5 years away from that, and you got to think like, what is he good at? He's a good sidekick character. He needs to have a straight man to like bounce the jokes off of,
right.
Yeah.
and you know, it's just he doesn't work by himself. And I think that's where Hollywood learns, you know, like, here, we'll just give you a lot of like, oh, you make us a lot of money here, well, you're gonna make money here, and then we learn, oh, he can't really
He's
do
too
that
much.
role.
He's too sweet of a cake.
Yeah, and he's just not a good, what was the word I was gonna think, this character, he's not a likable character.
No, he's
Not at all.
not.
And he doesn't really
He's
redeem
kind
himself
of,
in the end.
He's kind of the villain at the beginning.
And then you just don't like him.
Yeah.
There's like no character really grows in this
is-
film.
There is no growth. It's just, oh yeah, we're leaving the mansion because this is too much. And that's his character growth right there. Is
I
like
mean, there was a moment where he's like about to give up in the car, and I'm like, your wife and children are in this mansion. I would do anything. Like,
He's probably going like, man, I could make so much more money now since they're not in the picture. It's just, oh.
I agree. He wasn't a very likable character. And I think that was
and the kids weren't likable either.
I think
I like the daughter.
No, I didn't like her either.
the kids didn't bother me, like being scared of the spiders and the
It was over the top.
well.
It reminds me of having a kid, and he was a good annoying kid to the point where I thought, I don't want to watch another annoying kid when I look to my right and there's an annoying little kid going da 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 for every little thing. And so I was like, oh, I'm watching.
There is no escapism with this movie.
No, in that aspect.
I mean, I wouldn't compare this movie to Pirate level. I
Oh,
would
no.
compare this
Definitely not.
movie to like a Disney Channel movie, and I would rank it a higher Disney Channel movie.
Ooh, high standards there.
Yeah. It's the reality of it. That was obviously they didn't invest a ton of money in it. They were putting all their money in Pirates.
It just, you don't need to invest a lot of money in a good story.
Yeah.
And
but
I think they just forced something and like they thought Eddie Murphy will carry us. He's like a Robin Williams or Jim Carrey.
Right.
And those overactor comedy people, they fizzle out. Like we get tired of their comedy.
yeah.
Like we get tired of like Will Ferrell, real funny. And then you got like, oh, I've seen this character a million times.
Yep.
Oh, like Kevin Hart, we've seen this character a million times.
I
I don't
think-
want to watch it anymore.
I think with the Eddie Murphy movie, it wasn't scary at all. Like it was just like a cheesy haunted house,
scary
like
dragon didn't get you?
cheesy.
I was scared that I was wasting more of my time with this movie with
Like
that.
there was no fear. I was not scared in the movie. And then the overacting, that comedy, yeah. But I think the overall story and some of the Easter eggs doesn't make it as bad as people make it to be.
You know what? Once you get a bad rep on a movie, they just pile on. And you just get angry. You know.
It's true. There's a lot of
But
that.
like looking back when I watched it and pretending if I saw it in the theater, I wouldn't be like, I wasted my money. No. I'd be like, it was a movie.
You
Okay.
were the right age for that movie
Yes.
when you watched it. Me, I was in high school or out of high school.
I think you were
Yeah.
like in
If
high
it's
school.
2003, I'm in that like I'm 18. I've stopped watching really Disney movies that much,
I mean, it was definitely made
and I was good for me to not
kids.
watch them because I'm like Home on the Range and Chicken
Right. That was
Little
a
and
rough
Bolt.
time
There was a period
period.
where I'm like,
Yeah.
I still haven't seen those films, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. Like, glad. So yeah, it's a rough movie. Do we want to give it?
I'll say this one last
Well,
word.
let's give our thoughts on this, and then we'll give Mickey bars, and we'll move on to the other one.
My last thing I thought Master Gracie was good.
I thought he was kind of creepy. Like,
Well,
he's like older, trying to pick up a younger girl.
Sure.
Yeah, but
I was okay with his performance. I was
it
okay
was
with
fine.
that. I liked the not the main butler, but like the other butler, the
Inconceivable!
Yes, I
Yes.
love him. He was great. He was a good, fun character.
I didn't fully.
Thought they were
wish
forced
they-
in there. I
I wish
thought.
they could like explain how they can be like ghosts but not ghosts and have food and yeah.
It was, yeah, it's a loose
Again,
end.
that's
There were
it's
some loose
plot. But
ends.
in terms of character, I thought his
Yes.
character was a good character.
They could have gotten rid of the
like
maid.
his level of comedy
I agree.
was the right level of comedy,
Yes.
whereas Eddie Murphy's was not.
and he was a good
I think that is an
and he
assessment,
was
better
a
assessment
good
for that.
side actor. Like if he was the main guy, it would be
Right, correct.
That's inconceivable.
Well,
it would be a funny movie to watch.
we'll talk about Danny DeVito here in a second. But I also thought the music wasn't half bad. I thought the
No.
music was actually one of the more redeeming qualities of the movie was the music was decent. Like you listen to the soundtrack's pretty good.
I didn't
Yeah.
listen to the soundtrack. I didn't think while I was watching it, was like, oh, they're killing this movie.
Well, for me, I was like, I already had an opinion going into watching the movie, and so I was like, I'm going to watch it looking for good things. And those were the things that I came out with.
I don't see any notes. I'm joking.
I'm not a note taker. Normally, if I'm doing notes, it's usually a history segment.
I enjoyed that they focus on the story of the bride. And
Did they focus on it? I think in total it was like 5 minutes, that whole storyline, if you show the wife in
well,
there.
they mentioned it compared to the new one.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah,
It's a
But-
different.
'Cause it's a different
It's a
storyline.
different
Right.
type of story. This one was Scooby Doo, and this one was like complete the boss
This
task
was the
to get to
same
the
time
end.
that
Right.
Scooby-Doo came out, the movie,
Scooby-Doo is way better than this film.
and it was better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then maybe they had characters already developed that were way better. The weakest part is the characters, and yeah.
No, I don't. The movie overall was not like the greatest movie, but I wouldn't say it's worse than Black Hole.
I just kept thinking I'd rather watch Black Hole.
That's crazy to me. Black Hole, I wanted to stick forks in my eyes.
Go back and watch Black Hole and then listen to our episode, please.
Yes, Black Hole's the threshold of bad movies.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Is it Black Hole level? Yes, it's Black Hole level.
It's okay. So let's do Mickey bars. Let's start with Peter.
I'm gonna go with one Mickey bar.
One Mickey bar.
One Mickey bar.
I give it 2.
Jackie gives it 2, and I give it 1 that's been dropped on the floor and has hair and a gummy bear stuck to it. Like
It made a noise.
Oh
when you
man,
stuck
it was one of those like just leave it, forget it. Does it deserve? Should it be thrown back in the vault and taken off streaming in Disney Plus?
Yes.
Is it that bad?
Yes, it's bad.
I think it's fine being played as reruns on TV.
Okay, so
Like on the, what is it, ABC
Oh, it's not
Families,
Whatever.
or
it's called.
Freeform,
Freeform. That's it.
30 Days of Halloween. It's fine on that level.
it's fine at that level. So and if you
So
had
it's like Hallmark level of movie.
Yes, it is a
Okay.
Hallmark level of movie. I would agree.
do you think that on the marquee of Disney Plus should Halloween Town go above this Haunted Mansion?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I haven't watched Halloween Town in
I-
years.
Well,
so I couldn't
logistically,
tell
it
you.
makes more sense to have Halloween Town, the new Haunted Mansion, and not the old Haunted Mansion, because then it's just.
I think it does get confusing because you don't know, like the little picture they put on Disney Plus. They have like the
It's
endless hallway. I
weird.
was like, am I watching the ambiance
Right.
one?
Yeah.
Or am I
Oh,
watching
no,
the?
Ugh.
Am I watching
I
the
hated
actual
the
Haunted Mansion?
ambiance one too.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing that happens for like 2.5 hours. I was like, come on, something's got to
like,
happen,
they
except for the
started-
last second. And then there's ghosts that like pop up
Right.
and leave.
Well, like what the ballroom or the
chairs move.
the dining room.
Yes.
It was just like they started off with the organist. I was like, okay, I could do like the organist for like 2 hours, and then he just like left after like 30 seconds, and I was like, and I was skipping through seeing if anything. No, nothing. And I'm like,
It's
wow,
ambiance.
It's
That's the point.
literally skipping. But if I wanted like an organist playing like the Haunted Mansion music,
That's
that
where it's
would've been
very
good.
iconic.
It doesn't do the same thing like the Star Wars ones did. Where
Oh,
like,
so much better.
The Star Wars ones were a whole lot better when it came to that, ambiance.
Well, it's just like, okay, they're just recopying the lightning scenes over and over.
I
in
was
the
trying to
window.
watch because I was like, I had my child sleeping on me, and I was like, let me see like the fireflies,
loops.
see if it loops a certain
Right.
way. That was trying to look for like at what point did they
We're
just
not
repeat it?
nerds.
I stare at ambient videos to find where the laziness of the editor loops it over and over. My life is amazing. I give Mickey bars. All right, let's go on to the new Haunted Mansion. Came out this year. Was, like I said, not hugely successful
in the movie theater.
in the movie theater. I think it'll bring new life on streaming.
I think so too.
Yes.
I think it's.
I think people just don't want to pay to see it.
yeah.
I think my opinion on
I don't
it-
want to pay to see anything.
exactly. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to pay for. No, the reason why this movie got so much hate is because there was a high expectation, because what did we have to measure it off of? Eddie Murphy. And like, you got to give us something better than Eddie Murphy. And they did. They gave
They
us something
gave us
better.
better.
But you also got to realize when you got the diehard fans, there's no pleasing them. It doesn't matter how good the product is. You're going to get people like, it sucked.
There are those people out there. I would say I'm a fairly good Haunted Mansion fan. I mean, I work there. I know the ride themes and the different little Easter eggs that could be in a movie. So like going ahead, I enjoyed the movie until it got to the end. I got mummy too'd on this one.
Okay.
It's like I love the adventure, and then boom, The Rock as Scorpion King shows up, and I'm like, oh, you just killed the movie for me.
They did what they did in the Haunted Mansion. They opened a hole from hell that with fire and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, there just was no dragon. Good. No weird random fire dragon. Thank you.
So
Good job, Disney.
I think it's interesting in today's like market and the movie market. People base the success off of how much money it makes, right?
Right.
And how they expect every Disney movie to make billions and billions of dollars.
Yeah, Marvel and Disney and
Right,
Star Wars,
like
right?
Marvel status, Star Wars status, but like it, we need to adjust our expectations on movies because not every movie is going to be at that level.
Not every movie's going to be at the same level as Rocketeer.
Rocketeer is, I think, the highest ranking we've had.
We all
for
gave
Mickey
it
bars.
5s, I think.
I did not give it.
I think
a
you gave it a
5.
4, maybe a 3.5.
Yeah.
I think I gave it like a 4.5. I think it was pretty high. But so I agree. Our expectations need to be adjusted with films. We need to look into the story.
We need to
How
be
was
like,
the execution
did
of that
I
story?
enjoy the overall movie? Did I feel wasted of my time and stuff like that? And that was not what I felt with this movie.
And then the thing is, like, for me to get 3 Mickey bars, I have to like walk out going, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
There was nothing really that bothered me. There's no like scene that takes me out of the movie. When I want to escape, keep me involved. Take me into this portal, this universe that you're creating.
Yes.
Don't do anything to take me out of it.
Yeah.
And there are those scenes in movies. And I felt like the ending had a part one going, wow, I'm gone. I'm checked out. I don't even really like, I kind of know what's going to happen, but like how you're executing this is killing me on this. And I think that's more of an artistic CGI issue with me on it.
There was a lot of CGI.
And it's the ghost CGI. It's like, boy, I'd
The
rather you
ghost
pepper ghost
CGI.
me with like,
Right.
with the Haunted Mansion ghost. Those look more realistic
Yes.
from the 1960s than this garbage that you gave me here.
I definitely agree. The ghost CGI was not good.
Hatbox Ghost did not look the best.
Yeah, and if your villain or the Scorpion King is
Right.
just, cartoonish when everything's fairly real up till that point, yeah, it's tough.
But
Or it's like Signs, where we're like scared of like this scary creature, and then you show it, you're like, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
it's like
Okay.
they showed like the Ghost Bride, right? And I just hear and I'm like, in the attraction, it's scary. In
Constance
the
is
attraction,
so scary, yeah.
But in the movie, I was like, I got the ick vibe. Like
How she kept going like,
yeah.
I just scream at you. No wonder everyone wanted to be headed from you because you're just like, I gotta scream all
Like
the time.
she wasn't pretty to like. It was just like not. I didn't get the creepy vibe. I just got like the annoying like.
Jackie
leave me
wanted a pretty
alone.
bride.
Yeah, she is the bride that got all.
We got-
She got 4 guys.
We
Yeah.
got more of a zombie than we did a
Yes.
I
ghost.
thought of Mummy too, or the mummies where they like scream with their mouth like, "Ah!" That's what we got.
It
And
was
then
just too hoaxy. Like yeah.
it's just, no, I agree. Just the bride was one of the things that are like, oh, you're taking me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so go into the story a little bit. We'll kind of comment as we go. The main character's Ben, right? The astrophysicist.
Yes.
Yes.
They start with him, and like I feel like they focus around him, but it's like a group effort.
Yes.
Yes.
But
But it's about
They're
him.
focusing on
It is.
him and his character growth.
yes, it was. It was his character growth,
Yeah.
and
It
I
was
felt that
him.
in this.
Developing as a character and moving on with his life after his loss.
Yes, with the grieving, like they made that a point, like the Hatbox Ghost feeds on that and like focuses on that. You get Gabby and Travis. They buy the house. It was kind of fun because I was watching Ahsoka at the
Right.
same time as this, and I was
Yep.
all like, "Oh, it's so weird to see her
Yeah.
in both
She's gonna
roles."
pull out lightsabers.
And then you get like Owen Wilson playing Father Kent, He kind of tricks Ben, who's a skeptic on that.
I think Owen Wilson as a father is hilarious.
He was funny. His little comments.
Yeah.
He's got these little pep talks. He's like, "Hey, are you ready to be a hero?"
His level of comedy was the right
It was
level.
It was
Very
good.
appropriate.
My wife and mother-in-law were laughing at his little scenes
It's
throughout.
true.
It was the right amount. He's a
Yes.
good sidekick.
Yes.
Yes.
If he was the main character, you'd be like, "Oh no, oh,
You didn't like him
Chow,
in
go
you didn't like
away.
him in Cars?
wow, there's a lot of ghosts in here. I'm really scared." So he kind of tricks Ben, right, into coming into the house. He's like, "Well, she'll give you lots of money," and he's like, "All right, I'll take money." You know, and he takes his little like camera. I love
His fake.
his fake
Click.
like
Click,
click,
click.
and then he's got the
It's
little
like it's actually broken. He's like, click, click.
yeah. They didn't have the battery juice, and I love how they're the hallway scene where they're trying to jump.
Right. That was great.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You just gotta take one foot in front of the other." But I love the part where he's trying not to laugh
Yes.
at someone being dead serious. That
Yes.
was funny.
Yes. There
Where
was
you're
some-
getting the serious and
Because
funny.
it's realistic. Like if you
Yes.
were to see someone acting like that, you would be like,
Because you're a skeptic, you don't believe them, and you're
Right.
like, "I'm just here for the money."
Yes.
And that kind of like got that feel of the
I
haunted mansion
thought
right
they
there.
cast him great. I thought he was great cast.
Thought he was great
Yeah.
too.
it's a fantastic pick.
And they did a good job the next part where he sees the mariner, right?
Oh yeah.
And
Mariner.
like they stare at you, and then that mariner follows him home.
Yes.
That was awesome incorporation of the Haunted Mansion ride. The, a ghost will
will
follow you home, and then it'll come bring you back.
It's like, oh, you'll be back. you
And
know?
I love that. And they're all waiting there on the porch for him. And,
Yep.
and then I love how Father Kent like just shows up out of the corner and be like, "Yep, got us too. You tricked me." And they do the same thing
Yeah.
to Harriet the psychic. I liked her.
She was fun.
She was fun.
She brought like a fun, like funny attitude.
Yes.
Like she brought the sass.
She was good sass character. And then they have Bruce, the historian,
He was.
Danny DeVito.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. He was okay.
I don't feel like you could have erased him.
Yeah.
And the story would have been fine. But he did add like a little
There
seasoning.
was some comics, comedy with him. Like I like.
The Hatbox sketch scene.
That was good.
Yeah, deep eyes. Yeah.
I liked how they're like, no, you can't come in the Haunted Mansion. She's like, oh, watch me come, and they're like, oh no. Like
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
It was a funny scene, the seance room, and like,
Right.
Yes.
please, Master Gracie, write upon this pad of paper and pen from CVS.
I thought it was hilarious.
The little product placements in there were good, like the Burger King.
Yeah.
That was actually one of the things that took me out. The product placement was.
It was a bit much. The Burger King one, I was like, oh, it's funny, but then you're right, it does take you out.
It took me out. The product placement was a bit much in this one.
But that's a ghost wink.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so you have the seance room, you learn about Madame Leota, boom, Jamie Lee Curtis's character shows up.
Boo.
It was weak.
She took me out of the movie.
I agree.
Her acting was not. I feel like
It was
she,
gooberish.
Yeah, I feel like she did not do any preparation for the character, and you can tell that when. So they did a promotion thing where like 3 of the characters, like Owen Wilson, the main guy, and Jamie Lee Curtis, went to the Haunted Mansion, and they were dressed in like butler outfit and maid outfits.
Yeah.
And they weren't like trying to be like
They were trying.
spooky.
They're trying to recreate the Johnny Depp Jack Sparrow promotion that
At
they
Disney
did
when
when he dressed up as Jack
Yes.
Sparrow
Oh, in
on
the
the
park.
Disneyland attraction.
But,
They
like-
tried to recreate that, but you can't do that with the Haunted Mansion.
But it was just bad.
There weren't even
and
any butlers in this movie, so like, why are you gonna do it in the Haunted Mansion?
It was
Right.
bad, and Jamie Lee Curtis like was also really bad because she's like, "Oh hi," and it was just like, "You're supposed to be spooky," and stuff. Like, I just feel like she didn't do her research on this. I think she could have been better. Like, she could have probably taken it a lot more serious, and it would have been better. But
Yeah, I think it felt like she's like, I'm gonna try something, and we're just gonna go with it.
I agree.
yeah, I feel like they're like, "Oh hey, we want you to be in this movie. Great, where's my money?"
It may have been like a Tom Hanks Pinocchio cash grab.
Yeah. I just didn't feel like she was like fully committed. She's like, oh, I'm just gonna have fun with this. This is a Disney movie. This is comedy. And it's just like, well, Madame Leota is a very serious character, and like she sets the tone in the Haunted Mansion.
She's so creepy. How just like when you're on the ride, you feel her
You
like
feel it.
bringing and talking to the spirits on the other side. I feel that is a great
Yeah.
room in the Haunted Mansion, the seance room, because it gets you in you fixate on her. She's not looking at you. She's in her own, world or orb, and just
I think
it's missing in this film as a result.
part of because they cast her, and I don't know if she took this role as serious as it should have been. It really downgraded the movie ranking for me.
I think she
I
was the
wish-
weakest character
Yes.
performance throughout the whole thing
Yes.
Agreed.
as an actor.
Yes.
Not to knock Jared Leto's Hatbox. He's the actor for
Yeah.
The Hatbox Ghost. So yes, they learn that they need to get. They learn about the story about like the Hatbox Ghost, and then he needs this 1,000 soul. So they're incorporating the ride. 999 ghosts reside here.
Right.
They did a good job because there's a lot of mystery behind this, and then you learn about Alistair Crump.
Love the reference.
What's the? Oh yeah, Crump. Oh yeah,
Rolly Crump.
Rolly Crump. I was like, oh wait, what? Oh yeah.
Rolly Crump. We got Rolly Crump and Master Gracie
Yeah.
That's true. The two like creators.
for the two main people I would contribute to
The Haunted Mansion.
The Haunted Mansion period.
And
that was one
Which
thing.
is
When I
such,
heard that,
like,
I go,
a cool
yes.
thing. Like if
Especially-
you're a family member of the Imagineer.
to see the legacy move on.
Yeah, I think that's sweet and nice.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a shame he passed away before.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get to see that tribute, but
I think it was they created a good villain and
Yeah.
they did a good job in making it a quick like story.
yes,
They didn't
Yeah.
fixate on that. There's already a lot going in with all these characters converging into one point. So they get the Hatboxers, the sketch scene. Once they do like the reverse seance, and they get like, I know what his face looks like. I love that police scene.
Yes.
That sketch artist was
Yes.
so skeptical. Oh, really? No face, huh? Like no nose? Okay, is this what he looks like? Yeah, that's what he looks like.
You're so good.
It was a great scene to get you back into like, oh, this is silly, because there's moments of like seriousness with Ben's
Yes.
story that are really touching. Like you could feel the grief really well for me in him, and like the pain of his character. Like
Yeah.
I love that there's an array of emotions going throughout this film and with his character, and kind of seeing him grow with it, or having to like, hey, he needs, in order to, enjoy his life, he needs to move on.
Yeah.
And after that, what do we got? He's got the Madame Leota tells him they have to grab a piece of
They need
Crumb's,
something of his,
and so they go to
Yes.
his mansion.
which
Which
is
is
the
so funny.
It was so great to incorporate the Haunted Mansion.
Both
like,
of 'em.
They were both mansions. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it makes sense now. It's great. And I was wondering, is the Haunted Mansion now Grace? Are they going to have Master Gracie there at
They're
Disney
gonna
World?
Put Crump.
Or are they going to put Crump there?
Crump at Disney World
At Disney World? Yeah.
because it's Crump's mansion.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like, I was like, that's awesome. Finally,
Yeah.
my mansion
I love
getting a
the
little
tour guide,
recognition.
and they're like, "Is this actually belong?" No.
Oh yeah, you had Winona Ryder as the
Yeah.
actress, and it's like, is that his cane? No, that's
No.
my cane. Yeah, that was fun. They had Dan Levy as the like, is there a murder here?
Right.
That was there's just
Yeah.
little moments that like brings the humor back.
And there was like scary parts in the movie.
There was
There were parts where I'm like, "Oh, I'm actually scared."
It was a good family
scare movie.
Yeah.
scare
Yes.
movie.
I didn't have to tell my kid, hey, go upstairs.
Right.
I was like, my daughter, you come down here. You
Right.
can enjoy this. I
Um,
think the scariest like thing was like when the ghost host was chasing with an axe.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be the one thing I'm like, I don't know if I really want you to see somebody using this axe as a toy.
Yeah.
So yeah, they get the hat and the story, and then they come back to the house and like they can't get in because the Hatbox Ghost has taken over Danny DeVito's body because he has a heart attack in there.
Yeah.
And so there's that like funny scene where like Danny DeVito's character, who's possessed by an old Hatbox Ghost character, and he's like, oh, they went to the general store. Oh, the general store. Okay.
All right.
He's like, something's weird with him. Danny DeVito did a good job there, and that's where the chase of like, you know, trying to keep the hat out of their possession, and the Hatbox Ghost is trying to get Ben's soul, but it really isn't Ben's soul. It's
the
Travis's
kid.
boy.
Which that was kind of a dark turn.
It was, but I thought it was good.
I thought it was
It's a very
yeah.
dark turn to start talking about child suicide.
Well,
You know,
It could be construed
Well,
as that he's giving his own soul.
He has to give up willingly. And how do you do that?
yeah, but he wasn't thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna kill myself."
So that he can be with his dad. Absolutely,
That
he
was
was.
Yes,
not
it's-
his intention.
Yes,
The
it was his
intention was
intention.
like, "Oh, I just have to go in this light to
He's
be
being-
with my dad."
He's chasing his dad, not chasing like.
Death.
But he does get dark where he's all like, I got nothing here.
Yes.
Why do I like? Don't take me away from the thing I want.
But
Yeah, you're right. It is referring to
dark.
that, but they don't say, here, take this and do that. And no, it's just like you're just following the rabbit hole.
Sure.
You're going down the rabbit hole to give, you know, a grieving soul,
yeah.
you know, or
Now,
a willing grieving
Were you
grieving
guys?
soul.
Did you guys catch on to the fact that his dad passed away immediately? Because I figured out immediately when he was all like, "Yeah, I talked to my dad, but don't tell my mom because it makes her sad." And I was like, "Oh, because he's dead."
I don't think I paid enough attention about that story part.
I
I think I was distracted with other
it
parts
immediately
of the
clicked
story.
with me, and then when it was like revealed, like his father passed
I
away.
kind of assumed that he was dead. I kind of felt that way. Because I get the June Cleaver kind of like, they're dressed really nice.
Yeah.
And it felt like you had that nuclear family, strong nuclear
Right.
bond, and it was no longer there.
Right.
Because Rosario Dawson's character, Gabby, she seemed like a very strong
Very.
character, and she's very smart. She works in a hospital. She's a doctor. So yeah, I didn't get the vibe that they were separated. I kind of thought it was implied that the dad had passed on. Yeah, I thought that was a good twist. And then there's the whole final battle scene with Ghost chasing Owen
Yeah.
Wilson, and then trying to get the last bit of the burned hat
Right.
to Madame Leota
Banish him.
to banish him.
Just,
It just fizzled,
yeah, I felt like they're like,
and
oh,
then Ben was the target again.
yeah, they were like, okay, we're building this movie. Oh, this is good. We're bringing this in. We're bringing this in. And then at the end, we're like, we need to close this. Let's miss
I
it.
think they painted themselves into a corner.
Yeah, I think they built a really good story, really good build up, but they never found a way to properly end it.
Yeah.
I agree. And that's what I think that's why the critics really poo-pooed, because it's the end. You're like, wow, this story, I'm getting along with it. I'm flowing. We're going. We're here. And then this is where we ended up. Oh.
You're like,
Okay.
okay. This seems familiar.
Yeah.
It seems like a Ghostbuster ending.
Yes. Without the Stay Puff. Zor. All right, so yeah, we kind of don't like the ending.
Well, and you're surrounded by bad CGI ghosts.
It's just you
It's
get
a
what you
movie-
paid for.
It's a movie that will not age well as the technology progresses. That's
No.
for sure.
Honestly, they could have did what they did here. They could have done back in 2003.
I
I thought I was
agree.
watching. I was like, this CGI is no different from the movie I watched in the theater for the newest one, and I'm like, I'm really disappointed.
Yeah.
That was one where I walked out going, oh man, the
I-
CGI. I'm a stickler for it. It's the quickest way to kick me out of something that is
I
fantasy driven.
I definitely wish they put more money in the production of it than maybe the paying the actors a certain amount, you know?
I don't know how much they paid them.
I don't know either, but
Did you like the Haunted Mansion?
yeah.
The actual mansion
I
itself?
did. I enjoyed the Haunted Mansion and the design. I liked the setting of it in New Orleans. You totally felt like you were in New Orleans.
They talked about the culture of
The
death
culture.
there.
I did think
Your name's Carol? My name's Carol, too. No, I'm sorry.
I do feel like they missed some opportunities of some good Easter eggs in the
I
Haunted Mansion
think-
ride
I think they were trying to set up
for a sequel.
develop the franchise. And so that's why we got one story. We didn't get slammed like we did with the Eddie Murphy version
Where it's a
like,
one and done.
here's all these fun little Easter eggs. I think they were very strategic in being like, okay, we'll give you the Mariner, the Hatbox Ghost, and
We'll give you Constance.
Leota.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we gave you that. And then we'll talk about the other people later.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Because they did kind of leave it
They
open-ended. They kind of Beetlejuice the ending,
Yeah.
where it's all like the ghosts are still there. It was just the one ghost that went away. All the ghosts are still there, but everyone's chilling out in the
Yes.
mansion.
They definitely did open. They like ended the movie, but left it open to where.
And
there
so
could
and
be
that's why I
a
kind of felt
sequel.
like I was okay with the lack of references, because I felt like even though we're probably won't get another
Probably
one,
not.
no.
Probably not for the next 20 years.
another 20 years away
The
from
40th anniversary of the stink bomb.
people are asking.
Iger comes back out over.
He comes back from the dead.
Yeah. I'm here to save the company.
Bob Chapek comes out and is like, I'm here to ruin this movie too. Oh, this is truly scary. the stick, the stockholder's like, no, kill him.
Right.
Kill him. Bob's like, I'll do it again from the dark side.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's I thought there was enough for me. I could, after living in the mansion for like 2 years practically, I saw so much that I was satisfied with it. I liked the little references there. My favorite was Harriet the Psychic's chair when she gets thrown out of the mansion. It's a doom buggy.
Yeah.
It's a doom buggy chair. And then they had the Donald Duck chair.
Yeah, the Donald Duck.
That was enough for me. So
Yeah.
I was satisfied with the references I got there. I was fine with there not being a butler, because the Haunted Mansion, yes, the butlers make the ride experience, which is what they're focusing on in Eddie
But
Murphy's.
they are not the focus.
But
of
they are not the focus. It's
ghost
about the
are.
guest
Yeah.
in the Haunted Mansion, which is really what the Haunted Mansion is about.
Yeah.
The butler is just a vehicle for them there. They
I-
just maintain it.
I really enjoyed the fact that we were not glued to the mansion.
Yes.
Yes, I love the different scenes.
It's just a
outside
vehicle.
Of it.
Right. Like, it wasn't like, oh, we're stuck here. That being said, though, I did wish I got to see more of the mansion, because I felt like we saw like 3 rooms.
Yeah.
We saw the room where they hung out. We saw
The dinner room?
The dinner
Because
room.
Harriet was like, oh, many guests have eaten here.
and then we saw the seance room and I guess the
The
hallway.
hallway.
We saw the kitchen.
Yeah, but that was very brief, Like, it was just like I just felt like I didn't really get to see the mansion. I got to see a portion of it.
There's only so many rooms, really, that
In
you
this-
see in the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah. And so I don't know. It was just one of those things. But I did like the fact that we did go outside the mansion. We weren't like stuck there the whole time.
I like how the Mariner got to go drive off on a boat.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
That
I
was
loved how he
so
got to go.
I love the
steal
Deadly
boat.
Catch reference that they would put on the TV.
Right.
Next on Ghost Stories, this Deadly Catch. You know, that switches
Right.
the TV.
He's just watching fishing shows. Yeah, that was great. That was.
Yeah.
He's got the coffee cup, and it just like he knocks it down. He's like such an annoying ghost, and it was
Yeah.
funny. It was well done. All right, let's give it some Mickey bars, and or do you have any final thoughts on this before we give Mickey bars?
No.
I think it was. I think it was a solid movie.
Solid movie.
I think it was a solid movie. I was not disappointed paying money to go see it in the movie theater.
All right. All right. We'll start with Jackie. Mickey bars. How many?
So I wish I could give it 4, but because of Madame Leota casting and the CGI, I have to put it to a 3.
Okay, a 3. 3 solid. That means
Yeah.
it's like you enjoyed the escape.
I would watch it
And you would
again
maybe
if it
watch
was
it.
on.
Yeah. It's not. You wouldn't be like, nope, not watching this. All right, Peter.
I go 3.5.
3.5.
That's mine.
All right, man. I'm the stick in the mud. I give it like a 2.5 to 2.75. It's not quite a 3. The CGI, Madame Leota, are the weakest aspects to where I'm
Yes.
like,
It's hard.
I got pulled out more than I got pulled back in. Mm-hmm. Or no, I mean I got pulled in, but I shouldn't be taken out and like have little comedy bits that pull me back in.
I thought they really worked on the balance of scary and funny.
Nailed it. I agree.
I think they did a good approach.
Yes.
I think there was some director and production that just really knocked it down.
Yeah, I agree. I think now they really need to start with CGI. You really need to invest. If you're going to utilize it,
Use it good. Make it good.
you like go Avatar style with it. Use it to its fullest ability, you know.
Don't have
But don't let it lead the movie. Like the Hatbox Ghost, we didn't even talk about. The Hatbox Ghost was the monster, or the bad guy, and it just was cartoonish
Yeah.
in a real movie. A little just too cartoonish for me. But it's kind of hard where you got a man with no nose and sunken eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the villain choice was more of like fan service than anything else. It's like, well, we brought back the fans love the Hatbox Ghost, so we're gonna make the Hatbox Ghost the center point of the movie, and it's like, nah.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't understand why fans love the Hatbox Ghost.
Just the history of it.
It's just the
It's
history.
just the
He was
history of it.
there, and you see like Mark Gracie with this trick that they could never quite get to work.
Right.
And then they got it to work, and they're like, he's back, and he's supposed to be this creepy character. He's probably the creepiest character in the Haunted Mansion.
Probably.
No, I get the creeps from the bride.
Yeah, the bride's scary, but then, I mean,
She gives me like crazy creep vibes.
well, there's crazy creep vibe, and then there's just like scary creepy
Yes.
as the, like,
Yes, I agree.
because you don't really get that with any other kind of ghost.
No.
Maybe the guy in the coffin. What was his name,
Meow,
Peter?
Billy.
Oh, it's
Billy.
like IB. It was IB.
Ivy.
IB stuck.
Oh.
That was my pun.
If you want to know, we're referencing Ghost Stories from, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Was it 2? Was it that last
Was
year?
it last
No,
year?
it was like 2 years.
I don't know. We did Ghost Stories of the Haunted
And Peter
Mansion.
did a great one.
I did the guy who was
Yeah.
stuck in the coffin.
I got Michael Caine to retire from acting.
Right, you did. You
Not
got
from
Michael-
old age.
That's right. You got Michael Caine to retire. But if you liked the Ghost Stories from that time, you'll enjoy.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned to next week because we got a sequel to that episode.
It may be better. It may be worse.
It may be worse. It may not be as good.
It may be more worser. That's not even real. That's not real English right there. All right. That concludes our podcast. Thank you for listening to our review of the Haunted Mansion movies. Let us know, was the new one much better? What did you like about it? If you hated both of them and you want us to talk about Halloween Town, let us know. We can talk about Halloween Town next year. Why not? Peter's like, please don't. Please.
I'm not looking forward to that
No,
one.
we're gonna do it.
One of these years we'll do it.
It's gonna happen next year.
I'm gonna find another excuse to push
It's
it
gonna
off another
happen
year.
next year if there's no other Halloween movie.
All right, Disney, please come out with something
We
more
need
Halloween.
we need a really good Marvel or a Star Wars TV show to come out next year during
Do
this
another
time period.
werewolf Marvel.
I know.
I still haven't watched that.
So
It's worth
good.
it?
It's
Oh.
so good.
Absolutely, it's
All
worth
right.
it.
No, they did come out with Goosebumps.
Yeah, I'm afraid to watch that.
It's good. My wife and I like started at like 11 o'clock at night, and she's like, "I want to keep watching." I'm like, "It's 2 a.m. Can we go to bed?"
The books scare me, and I'm just no.
They did a good job, but they're not individual stories, but like it all is incorporated into like one larger story. And
Do they have the haunted mask? Is
they
that in
do
there?
have the
Oh
mask.
my gosh, they got the mask.
They've got
All right.
Say Cheese
I'm
and
in.
Die,
Say cheese and die. Oh great.
and they've got Eat Worms,
oh right.
and then they have the mask, and then they have the dummy. But they haven't showed it yet. They've released 5, and they release 1 every Friday.
right.
So they have like 10 episodes that come out. I've enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to it. So just throwing that out there. Maybe it does better or not, but it definitely it's got the creepy
Yeah.
like Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Would you
Nickelodeon
would you
style.
let your little girl watch it?
I don't think she'll really understand
Would
what's going on with the concepts
the
because
boys?
it's got the high school, the boys. I don't know what his kids can watch.
They can handle it. They watch so much weird stuff. They want to watch Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Oh
I don't want to take them to that
no.
because I don't want to go see it. Not that they can't handle it, it's because I don't want to go see it.
So yeah, there's out there. So yeah, Disney, hear us.
Do better on your CGI.
Better, yeah, please.
It's
invest
hard.
in your
It's
CGI.
hard to do ghost CGI. I'll say that much.
Pepper ghost me with
I
stuff from the
feel
Haunted
like
Mansion, I guess.
Ghostbusters, they did a fine job.
Yes, like the library scene with the library ghost. That was good. All right, Slimer was better than yes. I will forever be quiet in a library. That wasn't your mind, get her. All right, back to what we're talking about. We are ending this podcast. Please follow us on our social media, Spotify, like us, subscribe. Let other people know if you enjoy this and you think they would enjoy a Disney podcast of just Disney fans talking about different Disney, products and kind of like some creative stories that we like to do. Share it with people. We're always looking for more input from people as well. So with that being said, Auf Wiedersehen.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of the Matterhorn Yodelers. Please remember before your bobsled comes to a complete stop to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And remember,
Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.